Ulonkata bati yada tó yẹ kó máa da ifá. Inú tó yẹ kó jẹun, lọ́ fi bí pa. Ọbàtálá, ọba takuntakun. Ṣàngó, Èṣù, Ògún, Ọya, Ọ̀ṣun. Ìwọ ló ń bọ̀ nílé. Kí ni ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tán ṣe nílé yìí o? Ó jẹ́ lọ jára rẹ̀.
Lafayette, peace and power, family. Welcome to another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I am your host, Orisha Bemi, and we are back tonight, Tribe, with a huge blockbuster show, a powerful night in making. History is definitely being made tonight. And so without further ado, I want to give a huge thank you to all the new subscribers, all the new channel members, all the new Patreon members. Looking forward to getting back, into normal, a sense of normalcy with everybody. Probably starting this weekend, actually. But without further ado, we've been talking about this since last week. I want to formally, ladies and gentlemen, introduce the mother, the oracle, the mother of the Matrix, Miss Sophia Stewart. How you doing, Miss Stewart? I appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight.
Well, I'm not Miss Stewart, but we're going to call me Sophia. And I'm the creator and owner of the Matrix and Terminator film franchises. The mother of the Matrix is a tagline for all women who are the mother of their wombs, because a woman have a baby, and so we all have a Matrix womb to have that baby. And that's what the Matrix is talking about, who's being born and who's being programmed.
I love it. And so speaking of being born, I can't wait to dive into the book, The Third Eye, where it all begins. But before we get into that, can you kind of share a little bit of, there we go. Hold on. Let me. Yes, sir. So before we get into the book, can you share with us, because I didn't really realize or know any of this information until we had our conversation last week when I first was formally introduced to you, and phenomenal conversation within itself. But with that, I didn't know all of the educational, like you being a pretty much a child prodigy. So can you kind of share with us a little bit about how, where you're from, where you're born, and then you being a child prodigy into your, your career at the University of USC?
Oh, hi, everyone. Sophia Stewart. I'm from New York City. And while I was at USC in the 80s, I wrote the Matrix and Terminator film franchises. I was writing a book called The Third Eye, Matrix and Terminator, because I was talking about the eye of God, because on Earth we have two eyes. And I was talking about the woman's womb, her stargate, her portal to bring babies into this physical domain that we call the Earth. And I was talking about Terminator end time revelations, because in Revelations it said that the Christ consciousness would be born again of a woman, and that baby would come back born in the matrix, the womb, not an artificial inseminated baby, not a test tube baby, a petri dish, or a test tube or clone or drone, but a baby coming out of the womb, God's children, three-dimensional children. So when I was reading the Bible, and Matrix is mentioned 5 times in the King James's Bible, 3 times in Exodus, 2 times in Numbers. And a lot of people did not know that, including the people who adapted my copyrighted book and copyrighted script to the screen, which was, of course, 20th Century Fox, James Cameron, Gail Ann Hurd, Andy and Larry Wilczewski, among others. Well, we're all involved in adapting my copyrighted book, my first book, The Third Eye, where the logos are running down to the screen. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. 3 of my books are there selling, and you can find out the truth for yourself that I own the copyrights and the trademarks to the Matrix and Terminator film franchises. So while I was at USC, I'm a Trojan. That's where it all began. In fact, I used to work for the studios. Columbia Pictures is on the lot with Warner Brothers. I also used to work for a Beverly Hills law firm with 50 attorneys. I have a degree in law and a degree in journalism. I've been writing since I was in grade school, the 7th grade, 11 years old. I skipped high school and, of course, didn't need any high school being a prodigy. A prodigy is a polymath or a mathematician. So when I took the New York Regents, that's how I skipped and got my diploma. went into college and got my degrees.
Mm.
This is where the Matrix and Terminator come from. And they're one epic story divided into two franchises. The two franchises are one epic story divided into two franchises, but do not make any sense without each other. The Terminator is the prequel to the beginning of the epic story that goes into the Matrix. So everyone needs to know that.
I sure. But it's funny that you say that, because shout out to at Real Rolls Royce. They shared this comment earlier, long before we even started the interview, because I promoted the show and I spoke of the Matrix. But shout out to Rolls Royce. I appreciate that, family. And as you can see, Miss Sophia told us that too. And I want to share with the tribe about how the whole, let's just say, the ancestral intelligence that, or the intelligence from the creator that inspired you, or that, you know, your process, like how the whole vision for you to create this masterpiece came about. Can you kind of share with the tribe about how the whole entire inception of the Matrix and the Terminator in the book, The Third Eye, where it all begins, came from?
That's why I want people to read the book. I mean, I've written 4 books on Matrix and Terminator. Can you believe that? 4 books. And this is the newest right here, where the new Matrix and stuff, where people are trying to buy it, producers and investors offering anywhere from $30 to $50 million for the shooting script, so you can get the continuation from the first one, which won 4 Oscars. It's very simple. I read the Bible, and when I read the Bible, I saw in Revelations that they were talking about the Christ conscious was going to come back again. It was going to be born of a woman. And that's where, when you go into the Terminator End Time Revelations, you see Sarah Connor. Because what happened is the machines hear the oracle's prophecy that a baby is going to be born. And these machines, these AI in the future, which are very advanced, this is time travel, folks. They know that the woman destined to have that baby is Sarah Connor, and that they have to time travel there to try to kill her so that baby will not be born. But Kyle Reese, one of the rebels in the future fighting the machines, he also hears this prophecy, and he time traveled to try to save her. But what happens is, when he caught up with her, he inadvertently fell in love with her, and of course got her pregnant. Now it's the Immaculate Conception, because he has to go back and time travel and go back to the future like he never existed. But she knows that he did, because the baby is in her Matrix womb. So this is why you see the Terminator, the beginning of this epic story, that goes into the Matrix, which is the future. Past, present, and future time travel. If I don't explain it to you like this, it doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I do. And you know, and shout out to we got people in the tribe already that's saying they're putting the books in the cart and they're ordering the books now as we speak. So I appreciate you having human experience. Appreciate all y'all for the love and support, family. So with that, when it comes to how this whole story came about, how this vision came about, can you kind of share with us how the vision came about initially for you to even write The Third Eye, the book The Third Eye? Got
The
you.
third eye, because it's talking about the eye of God. It's talking about the Matrix, the womb of the woman.
Mhm.
And Terminator is talking about, in Revelations, there's a prophecy that is why they call it the end. Terminator End Time Revelations. So you can't separate it, because it's all one.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
minus the package though, minus the you know, blockbuster hits. I mean, like from when you very first were given the vision, when the very first, like how it all came about.
Yeah, I started writing early on when I was in grade school.
Mhm.
When I was 11 years old in the 7th grade, a college professor from the school, who he taught, you know, at the level of the university, and he substituted for our grade school teacher who got sick. And when he came over, he told us, he said, I don't know anything about English, because she was an English teacher. He said, but I'm going to teach you guys how to write. So he was the one that was teaching us how to write, and I loved it. We were competing with each other. We were trying to please him. And later on in school, when I went to City University of New York, CUNY, I had some very famous teachers, Max Siegel, a former journalist, a very famous journalist with the New York Times, Emil Confudia, essay critic, author, Big Apple playwright Paul Cherry, and of course over at USC, Leon Roth, R-O-T-H, whose son is Eric Roth, the screenwriter who won an Oscar for Airport 79. And he wrote Benjamin Buttons and Forrest Gump. So his dad was one of my teachers, a big, super film producer. And
That's
he was
powerful.
crazy about my work. They were all crazy about my work. Max Siegel, he asked to read my book immediately. And they all knew that I was a very phenomenal writer, including the late Muhammad Ali. He knew also. He saw my writing and he just went completely crazy about it. He was like, you wrote this? You wrote this? And I'm like, yes. And he had a lot of my work actually framed in his mansion, because a lot of people told me when they went into his mansion, they saw my writings on the wall where he had framed them, which was really beautiful.
That's what's up. Well, you got a prolific background when it comes to, you know, some of the who's in the Hollywood, you know, Hollywood scene, because I didn't know, you know, until we spoke about you actually growing up with the Jacksons. And I remember you sending me the picture with you and Janet Jackson and how, you know, you were actually close with the Jackson family. Can you kind of share a little bit about how you know, met the Jackson family and how that relationship, you know, actually started?
Oh, it's really easy. I know the Jacksons, the Silvers, the DeBarges. I all grew up with all of them. So I've known them for many, many years, and still I'm still in contact with a lot of them, with the Silvers, Charmaine, and of course Latoya, and some of the other ones at the Jacksons, Marlon, and so forth. And the mom is still alive. So whenever Joe, he used to live in Vegas, and he would go to Cali, he would always let me speak to a lot of the members, Janet, Latoya, the mother, his wife. But it all started, how I met them was one of my girlfriends. I was also in the media in the 80s. So when people go to the news archive, you can actually see pictures of me with Michael Jackson and other celebrities. I've taken pictures with them. I used to work for a national magazine, so I was a West Coast correspondent. But this girl who was one of my roommates, who became a doctor, Dr. Paula Benjamin, she told me, you know, you can meet anybody, and I want to meet Michael Jackson. And I was like, wow. I said, I can't meet anybody. And she said, yes, you can. And I said, okay, I'll try to help you to meet Michael. And so I got their number. They had a Sunset office. To make a long story short, I kept calling them. And one day, Joe Jackson answered me back and invited me to come to the office. And he thought I was a songwriter. He didn't know that I was an author or a writer of screenplays and books and so forth. And he said that he would wanted me to write their story at some point in time, their, you know, their biography of their life story. But anyway, that's how it all began. And we went to the Oscars, I believe it was 2015. Dolly Parton was there because he introduced me to her. And we went on the red carpet, and he told all of the media that the Jacksons were the ones who discovered me. And I met, what happened?
Was that true? That they were the ones that he was? Okay, got you.
Yeah, they were the ones who discovered me, the Jacksons.
Wow.
Yeah, he told all of the media. I'm sure you can look it up, the Oscars. I think it was 2015. Dolly Parton was there. But you can look it up and see when Joe Jackson was there. He and I was on the red carpet. All of the stuff that I'm talking about is in the media archives. You guys can go and look me up. Don't go on the internet and garbage and rumors on the internet. All that's a crock of mess. Go to the library, ask the information desk to go give me Sophia Stewart on microfinch. Let me delve into her background. Let me see all of the media stuff. Because I'm in the media all in the 80s and everywhere with all the celebrities and different people.
Yeah, I mean,
I even have a, go on.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, I got the receipts in my phone. I mean, you sent me a nice portfolio of you know, your network. Yeah, so it's definitely very robust, to say the least.
I'm telling the truth. There's no reason for me to lie. I mean, there's no point to that. Everybody can go to and find me in the news. I'm deep in the magazines, newspaper. I'm in all the magazines, Rolling Stone, L3, with Ziggy on the cover, just numerous. Judge Joe Brown. You can Google Sophia Stewart's interviews and YouTube. I've done over 7,000 media interviews. My work, The Matrix, won 4 Oscars. I just won a new Oscar myself for March of 2026, and you can show it to everyone. Everyone can read it. It's about the children because I love supporting the children, women and children. That is a big deal for me.
Yeah. And this is a big mother's house, and we definitely have nothing but the utmost love and respect and reverence to, our mothers and divine feminine. And I see the comments from the tribe. I'm not going to give it a lot of energy, but I'm going to address it only because, some of the audience members are speaking on it. But there was an interview that you did not too long ago with another platform. I'm not even going to mention the names, but I wasn't really a fan of how that interview went because I felt like there was some sort of ulterior motive, or there was some sort of intentional wanting for conflict or friction, which I don't do that. I don't do that on my platform, and I don't have guests on here that do that because it's just not, it doesn't flow with the energy that we move with as collectively as a tribe. And everything about us is all about love, respect, and reverence for our divine feminine, for our mothers, for the ancestors, and for the creator. So that's how we move as an audience and as a tribe here. But I did want to address it because I see, the audience mentioning it, because from what I see, they wasn't too fond of that particular conversation either. It seemed like there was definitely some sort of agenda to that. But without further,
listen, Warner Brothers have had people to do that. They will use other melanated people to harm other melanated people.
Oh yeah.
They've been doing that for many, many years, trying to sabotage and hurt and stuff. And they hired people to do this. A lot of the major celebrities that have passed away, Biggie, Tupac, Whitney Houston, to name just a few, have been
murdered.
Murdered, and really bad things happening to them. And Michael and Prince, some of the greatest talent in the world has been done wrong because of who they are. And those gifts of those talents are phenomenal. So these people sending those 3 guys, and they were just ridiculous. One looked like he was on drugs. I asked him, what was he on? He was shaking and everything, and they just kept on. And they were talking like they were talking in the past, that they didn't know anything about me. And they were just sent to sabotage. And I just got up and I walked out on them. And a lot of people, celebrities, called me, and a lot of the males were just really mad about how they were disrespecting me and trying to talk about me after I left the studio. They were ridiculous. It backfired on them.
And that's a feminine energy. And I hate when I see men that operate out of that, because, and no disrespect to the feminine either, but I just feel like as men, we're supposed to do the opposite. We're supposed to be there to be the protectors. We're supposed to be there to be the ones to make sure that you are protected, that you are honored, that you are revered, that you are respected the way that you're supposed to be. Because I don't feel like either one of them would allow anyone to talk to their mother if their mother was on the platform. You know what I'm saying? Like you should have a problem with that. And so for me personally, as a man who is somebody who is very, very close to all the mothers in my life and who is very close to the divine feminine, things like that is a problem for me, because I notice a lot of those types of guys, they will do that with females, but when another man is in their presence, they don't want any of that. So
they were paid to try to sabotage me or try to make me look bad, but they can't make the truth look bad.
Facts.
It actually backfired on them. And all respectful men such as yourself, they all came to my defense. All of the males that were true males came to my defense, and women also, Jaguar Wright and a lot of other celebrities. They called me. They were really, really pissed off about it. DJ Sabir Bay, and I could just
be careful with Jaguar, because little Jaguar, she'll let loose on all of them, boy. She don't play. She'll get jiggy with it. I would love to get her on the show. As a matter of fact, I definitely would love to get her on this platform for sure, because I love her work. So because I know our time is limited, I do want to and you know, if you're comfortable with it, because you shared with me when we first spoke, and that was a phenomenal conversation with it. So it took me a few days just to kind of really for it all to soak in. Like I'm still kind of in awe right now just having this conversation, because like I was telling you, there got to be at least 5 shows on this platform that has the movie The Matrix in it. And then I can't tell you how many times I've mentioned the book, you know what I mean? So it's like, because a lot of people, I won't say a lot, but some people don't know about the book and don't know that the book is what inspired or what sparked what was the brainchild, the baby, you know, to what, you know, we all know as these super franchises now. But can you share who gave you the vision for the message that inspired you to write the book? Would you be open to
Of
sharing that?
course, yeah, of course, God gave me the
Thank you.
inspiration. I
Can
was
you share it with
inspired
us?
by God. I was inspired by God. What happened was, like I told you, being a kid, I would always read the Bible and so forth. And at first, when I was reading it, I did not have an understanding of it. But it was something that later that occurred where I could really understand it. And I just thought doing the work in science fiction form is what I did. I wrote a story because the story wasn't there. The first coming was there, but the second coming wasn't there. It just mentioned that the Christ would come back. And I just imagined in the future what would happen when he came back, science fiction form. You know, the AI being advanced, how the world would look, programming, all of that. You know, being a woman and having a matrix womb and understanding that God's children are three-dimensional beings: the first body, blood, water, and spirit; the second body, the physical body, 9 months to 36 weeks; the third body, the seed or the soul of return that attaches to the physical body at the 12th week. And this is why a doctor will not perform an abortion at the 12th week, but will give you a pill to bring down a period up to 11 weeks. So I was just inspired by God. It's just that deep.
It's way deeper than that. I don't want to go past any, you know, any types of boundaries, but you have had experiences with beings who are above the realm that we currently preside in. Do you mind sharing with us a little bit about some of the experiences from some of these higher realm beings that you've had?
I never believed in UFOs. One of my friends did. His name is Stanley Lewis, the late Amanda Lewis's father. Now he believed in UFOs, and he would always tell me that when he was reading my book that I had a UFO in there, and I was like, really? And the government, they called me when they read this book right here, when they read the Matrix 4 book. Oh, this book blew them away. This is the new Matrix. You got to get this book, everyone. It's super. They called me up, Homeland Security, and they said that I solved the Roswell incident. And I didn't know what they were talking about, because Roswell happened before I was even born. I don't know if you knew that, but Roswell happened way before I was even born. And they said it was in my book. They did not know how the UFO ships flew, but I'm actually breaking down the technology in the UFO ships,
Right.
how they fly with magnetic ring pulsions and the reversal of gravity. And that just blew them away, because they said they had captured these UFO ships, but they didn't know how they flew until they heard my interview and they read this book. And I have the quantum breakdown, the quantum physics of mathematical breakdown in my book on UFOs. And to explain it to you, because a lot of people have seen videos of UFOs. And in my book, I'm expressing this magnetic ring pulsions and the reversal of gravity. But if you go into the Bible, Ezekiel and a lot of prophets and many people had sightings of UFOs. It goes back that deep. Ezekiel was talking about a ring within a ring, or a wheel within a wheel. So many people who are familiar with this know what I'm talking about. But let me go back to the technology that I'm explaining in that book. Just picture a balloon, like you blow up a balloon, and that balloon is blown up, and all of a sudden you release the air out of nowhere, and that balloon just shoots off and you don't see it. It just disappears for a moment. Then you see it. Well, that's the way the UFOs move. Whenever they take off, they disappear. They shoot off really. Sometimes they go straight up and they disappear. And then next moment you see them either to the right or to the left. But it reminds you of the way the propulsion is in that balloon. So when I said magnetic ring pulsions and the reversal of gravity, that's what I'm talking about. Because what happens is they know the technology to make something light or heavy. That's what gravity is about. If something is heavy, it's going to stick to the earth. If it gets light, you reverse gravity, it's going to be light. And the lighter the gravity is, you can't, it just goes straight up. You can't even see it.
Yeah.
And this guy who did coral reef in Florida, it's called Coral Reef. It's some guy in the 60s, I think it was. He built a coral reef in Florida, but he had to move it. And you guys Google this guy. You
I
can
know
look
you
him
talk.
up.
I think you talk about Ed, if I'm not mistaken, you're talking about Ed Leadskin. Is it Ed Leadskin, the one
That's
that built
him.
that?
That's
Yeah.
him. And back then, he had an old pickup truck. He didn't have any pulleys. And these stones were tons. I mean, they were tons. But he had read an old Egyptian book. He had read an old Egyptian book that taught him how to reverse gravity. And he even said it, just like I'm talking about the propulsion. He said that he would reverse the gravity on these stones and they would be just like balloons, just light floating. And he would take them and put them on the truck and then reverse the gravity on them and then move them. And that's why he was able to do. And if you would look at this book, The Third Eye, where it all began, you can see right here the pyramids, because I'm talking about the ancient Egyptian knowledge of the pyramids. All of this is in the Bible. When you read about Ramsey, the pharaohs, that technology they had was phenomenal. Also, when you look at this Third Eye book, you see the logos, the binary codes, the 1 and the 0. This is where they get all this stuff from, because they adapted my copyrighted book and copyrighted script for the Matrix and Terminator from this book. Everything is in here, the letters and stuff where they admit they never had any source work, they had no copyrights, they had no trademarks, they had nothing. They just adapted my script and book, which was already copyrighted and owned by me, to the screen. So they stole the money, because all of this was in my name from the beginning. While I was at USC, in my name, I studied law. I was prolific in law. And of course, I've won 2 default judgments and got 2 judges recused off the bench, a federal and a magistrate judge. The mob have to kill them off the bench or threaten them off the bench. The Scientologists have to blackmail them off the bench. And I just told the truth. And they got off of my case because they were crooked. And I got some really good ones and won the case in Utah federal courts in 2014. So you got to realize Warner Brothers have never had any ownership ever, or any of the defendants in Hollywood, Andy and Larry Wachowski, none of them have ever owned the Matrix and Terminator. And some people are so frustrated when they come to me and try to get it from me and they don't have any money. And they try to use reverse psychology and try to act like it's me, that I'm the problem, that I need to prove to them that I own the Matrix and Terminator. I don't need to prove anything. The copyrights and the trademarks, the federal courts, the judges ruling, the court orders, or 96 pages of evidence, the movies, the books, all of this stuff, evidence and paperwork, copyrights, trademarks, were all entered into the federal courts. And this is the deal. Listen very carefully, all you investors out there and lawyers. You cannot enter fraud into a federal court. You go to jail. You won't be filing a lawsuit because the burden of proof is on you. If you file a lawsuit on somebody, you better have the proof. You can't put any bogus stuff. Even the lawyers will go to jail. They all know this. So I don't know what kind of games they're playing. Like I told you, I'm prolific at law.
Yeah, you prolific with a lot more than law.
Yeah, well, I do contractual law, I do RICO criminal law, I do copyright and trademark and patent and entertainment law. So I do a federal procedure law. The only three laws that I would have to go get an attorney for myself is housing law, family law, and real estate law. I would have to go and hire myself an attorney for those laws because those are the laws I were not interested in. To me, they were boring to me.
Well, listen, I know a great real estate attorney if you need one. So let me know if you let me know if you're in the
Well,
space for
I
that.
can handle any contract. That I can handle. Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm gonna bring a comment to the floor because they said, wow, oh my God, please return back and teach us some more. So let's so look, so it wasn't me, it was the audience that said you got to come back so we can learn some more. That's what they said. The tribe is saying you got to come back. Hell, we can get you to come back on a regular basis, hopefully, is what you know, if it's something that you're
Well, I'll
into.
tell you, like the Terminator, I'll be back.
Hey. Okay, well, with that, when it comes to the book, because I started reading it after we spoke. I read I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, but I did get into it because I wanted to make sure I was prepared for this interview to the best of my abilities. I watched The Matrix at least maybe 2.5, almost 3 times before, you know, we had the show, just because I really wanted to embody the energy and the power of which, you know, your work has generated. So you wrote this back in 81, from 81 to I believe 84. So back then when you wrote the first book that they pirated your work from, there was none of this technology that we see now. It wasn't there. So you clearly had the ability and the gift and the skill set to literally manifest the embodiment of the character, the Oracle, in the book. I mean, in the
Yeah,
movie, right?
because I am the Oracle. I am a shaman. My grandmother was a shaman. My grandmother full-blooded Cherokee off of the Indian reservations of Missouri. My grandfather full-blooded Portuguese from Portugal. He and my great-grandmother, they came over from Portugal. They were Spanish. And they couldn't speak any English when they came over here. My grandmother, coming off of the Indian reservation, she couldn't speak any English, but they created a language where they could communicate with each other. And my grandmother, she has that gift, and I got that gift from the natives, and it goes deep. The natives' gifts are very, very super.
Yeah.
And so the Oracle, I created those characters, the Oracles. I put myself in my work like Stephen King and Spike Lee and Stan Lee. We all put ourselves in, we're copying off of Alfred Hitchcock. So we put ourselves in our work. So that the Oracle is me. I created those graphics, those special effects, the red and blue peel, I'll be back. I created all of that, the concept. Hollywood didn't create anything. I'm just blown away by people when they say, well, what did you do and what did they do? I say they didn't do anything but steal. That's all they
Facts.
did, stole the
Big
money. And
big
when you
fact.
go to court, you go to court for the damages. They can't steal what your property because it's in your name. Anytime someone take any of your property when a court case is going on, it has to be returned eventually to you because it's in your name. But that's all they did was just steal the money. So when I went in to get the damages, that's what I did.
I say,
The
yeah.
money back. You get the money back, people.
Yeah, I mean, because that's all, you know, that's all that particular demographic, that group of people, only thing they ever invented was the patent office. And they invented that so they can take the stolen works that they stole in order to put some sort of letter or some sort of authority or ownership to it based upon their system that they created, which is a whole
But
nother level.
listen very carefully. If anybody go into a copyright office or a trademark office or a court and they put in any fraudulent documents, is invalidated. It has no validity to it, so they do not own or have anything. Remember that. Fraud is invalidated, no matter where it's put.
Yeah.
And you're going to end up going to jail sooner or later for entering in fraud. You can pay people like Al Capone, John Gotti, Bernie Madoff. You can pay people to keep you out of jail for so long, but eventually it's going to catch up with you and you're going to pay.
Facts. Yeah. And
So
not only are
people
you going
need
to
to
pay,
know that. Don't try to go and put something fraudulent in and think you got something. Because the moment you enter any kind of fraud in, they'll tell you under the penalty of perjury, it's automatically invalidated. And anybody putting any fraud into a court, you're going to jail.
yeah.
That's why a lot of the lawyers and the defendants did not show up. That's how come I won 2 default judgment. When you win a default judgment, that means nobody disputed you. That means nobody showed up because they were going to get arrested. That means nobody talked for you because the lawyers would get arrested too because they're your mouthpiece. And they already wrote a letter saying they had no source work. That means they had no script, no copyrighted script, no trademarks, no nothing. So I'm kind of tired of explaining this to people. What part of no don't you understand?
Yeah.
If you have nothing, you have nothing. If you admit it in a letter and it's been entered into the courts, you're not going to show up. Look, why you think they're not calling me any liars? Because they're going to lose that. They're going to lose. Why you think they never file a lawsuit on me? Hold up. Why you think they never file a lawsuit? Because the burden of proof is on you. If you call me a liar and you sue me, you have to prove that you own something.
Facts.
And it can't be anything fraudulent. The moment you enter something fraudulent and you're going to jail, the moment you get on the witness stand and you lie under oath, you're going to jail. Listen, people, I was in the courts. I was under oath.
Look,
I entered in 96 pages of evidence. Anybody docket 282. Anybody want to see it? I got it. If you don't believe Warner Brothers and them were there, and Andy and Larry, they were on the transcript. Their attorneys, 111 attorneys, Snow Montague, Matthew P. Cox. I beat all of them.
Look, the tribe is going in on the comments, but I had to share this. I didn't want to cut your wisdom, but when you said when you ain't got nothing, all I could think about was Eddie Murphy in the movie Raw when he said nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
Well, that's true. That's why they don't have anything.
Right. Yeah.
They have nothing. I don't know why people keep thinking because they are a legitimate company that's worth a lot of money and they have nothing. I got liens on them. I got liens on all of them. $3.5 billion worth of liens. That's Judge Joe Brown. He interviewed me.
Yeah.
Those liens are good, folks, because I won a default judgment against I won 2 default judgments, one against 6 law firms. 5 of them were my lawyers. 5 law firms were my lawyers. Beverly Hills, Hidden Hills, Michael Stoller, Gary Brown, Pasadena, Jonathan LaBelle, New York City, Dean Webb, Rico criminal law firm, and he had Dunn law firm to represent him, and they all lost because they were under one contract. Jonathan LaBelle's contract. So when Jonathan LaBelle loses, they all lost.
And you know, the tribe, like I was telling you, you know, we were speaking earlier before we came on air, I was saying how the audience here is very spiritual and like very tapped in, you know, to spirit and the creator. Having a human experience makes a powerful point. And I know that they're looking at that from a spiritual perspective lens, but you actually received insight on why to file the suit in Utah. Can you share that? Because they're looking at it from a spiritual perspective, but I know for a fact that it all ties in together.
The FBI told me that the most crooked judges and lawyers are in California. So I didn't know that at the time. When I first filed the lawsuit, I was just going to the venue where it all occurred. That's where the film was, but the films were everywhere. I wasn't thinking about that. Anyway, they sabotaged the California case. And I was interviewing at that time, and they sent those attorneys that I got later on in Utah, I just spoke about. I got them. They sent them to sabotage the case. Michael Stoller, all he had to do was enter the movies and for me to win. The judge said in the 50-page ruling, all of the movies had to be in and Sophia Stewart win. Well, I actually won that court case in California because Michael Stoller, I have evidence that I entered into the Utah court showing that he entered the movies in. But guess what? Because he worked for Warner Brothers, he entered the movies in for them, but the movies did not belong to them. They belonged to Sophia Stewart, so that's why I won that California case. You guys need to know this. What you didn't read on the internet is a bunch of lies and the windows. a bunch of crap. You need to read the court dockets and the judge's ruling, the court order. They can't overturn that court order. Right now, they're pestering me and bothering me. I'm reporting it to the FBI because the FBI said, are they threatening you? Are they bothering you? Because if they do, we have to come out and arrest these people. And I'm letting them know they are bothering me, trying to get the trademark from me, the Matrix and Terminator trademark.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers and them is trying to do a Matrix attraction, and they're going to go to jail. I created the Matrix attraction and copyrighted it way in 2010. You can pull up the copyrights and you can look in the Third Eye book. The copyrights are there, and I can show you the copyrights and letters and everything, the graphics, the pictures, everything is in here, you guys. It is mind-boggling. The FBI documentation, the letters, everything is in this book to show you that I told the truth. It's so sad that people want to believe liars.
Well, that's the people.
Yeah.
Those are the people that's what they already made up their mind that they're going to go with them, and that's what it is. You know what I mean? But for us, we know what it is because we're used to that happening to us, unfortunately. But the buck stops now because all that is a thing of the past, and that's why, I was watching the movie, and like I said, I wanted to make sure I was prepared to the best of my abilities, and I'm looking at the movie which came out I think in '99. I'm looking at the technology, and I'm looking at all the different things that happened and how it happened. They didn't have the technology in Hollywood to create the film back when you wrote the book, back when they stole your material. But when they did get the technology,
that's why they did the Terminator. Hold up. They didn't have the technology to do the Matrix, but they had the technology to do the Terminator because the Terminator was out in October the 26th, 1984. My copyrights are 81, 83, and February the 6th, 84. Way before the movies were ever adapted to the screen, my copyrights come before. You're going to see that in the books. You're going to see that in the court docs.
Yeah.
So they did not have the technology for the Matrix. That's why the Matrix came out in 1999. Right. March the 31st, 1999, because that's when the technology was available to make the futuristic Matrix.
Right.
Past, present, and future time travel.
Yeah, and where I was going with that is, first and foremost, I agree with everything you just said, but where I was going with it is that they, even right now in 2026, would not be able to tap into the level of godliness that you did in 1981 to create this supernova of a franchise to begin with. And the fact that it took them till 1999 to create that film shows just how far ahead of the class that you are. And so I'm saying all that to say that even though you wrote it from 81 to 84, they dropped the Terminator 84, okay, whatever. But the fact that they dropped Matrix in 99, you still wrote that in at least almost 20 years prior, but yet right now in 2026, we're seeing everything that you wrote in that book is literally what we are living right now from the Terminator and the Matrix franchise. You predicted this back in 1981 is when you saw this future. So with you being the progenitor, the mother, the matriarch, the creme de la creme of the Oracle, the visionary behind all of this, how did you feel back in 81 when you time traveled, as you just said, into the future of 2026 to create that masterpiece? How did you feel? How did it make you feel?
Time travel into 2026.
I mean, that's what it seems like to me.
2026 right now.
At least what they say. But
I was 100 years ahead. What I wrote was 100 years ahead, just like H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells was born in the Iron Age. I was born in the Digital Age. H.G. Wells saw a AI as an old metal robot. When you look at Star Trek and Lost in Space and Star Wars, they have all these old robots, old metal robots. But I'm talking about in the future, a artificial intelligence where they're trying to make right now all the Asians over there in the Asian countries, wrapped in flesh, killed but that cannot be killed, a Terminator. No one had ever seen that, what I created, an AI. No one had ever seen a clone. No one had ever seen a drone, a test tube babies. I'm talking about all of that including in here, way before you guys knew what a test tube baby was, a drone, all of that. My vision, I'm a visionary, a seer.
That's
So I'm writing what I saw in the future, like Nostradamus, like Edgar Casey, like Jonathan D. Just to name a few seers.
that's what I was that's what I was
Or
trying to
Cairo.
get.
Or Cairo. He was
That's
one of
what I
my
was trying to,
favorite.
that's what I was trying to get out of you, because like I said, I should have asked before we came on air, because like I said, I'll never forget our very first conversation, which I think it might have been like 2.5, 3 hours. It was amazing to me because I'm such a nerd and I love learning and I love, sitting at the feet of the elders, or not, I know you're not an elder, but sitting at the feet of those who come before me and those who are the visionaries, those who are the seers, those who are the masters,
Elders don't have anything to do with age. They're talking about knowledge.
right.
Elders
Yeah.
mean the knowledge is old.
Right.
Anybody can be an elder. Some kid, a baby, can be born as a prodigy. A baby can be born as a genius, and be an elder because of the knowledge they possess or project.
Yeah, no, that's facts. And
They
shout
got
out
nothing to
to
do with age, because look, there's a lot of people who are old and don't know anything, old and never seen anything, old and can't tell you anything. And there's a lot of people that have super knowledge, super geniuses, super creatives, super prodigies.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that, because shout out to the elder on the channel. It was an elder that left a comment today, and they was referring to a previous episode that I did with another master teacher, Professor Kaba Kabane, and they were asking, did I feel like, or maybe they was asking for Professor Kaba, either or, they was asking, did we feel like it was too late for them to learn how to use both sides of the brain? And I love the question, but I responded by saying, absolutely, it's never too late, because one of my favorite quotes, and I got to give credit to Les Brown for this. I don't know if it's his, but I heard him say it. He said, "We're never too old to learn, and we're never too young to teach." And so that's how I responded to the comment, because that it pretty much is mirroring everything you just said. Like, we can always learn all the way until we still, get ready to transition.
As long
but we can
as you're alive, as long as you're alive, you can learn anything, you can do anything, you can invent anything, you can create anything, you can be super on this earth. It has nothing to do with age. Age is nothing but a number. Like Aaliyah said, she said it right when she said age was nothing but a number. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
And you guys need to get my books. I mean, it's just super knowledge in these books. I mean, super knowledge. And look, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, they getting them.
Amen. And
we got
we're talking about that Egyptian knowledge. We're talking about that ancient Egyptian knowledge that came upon the earth.
Ancient Kemet, listen, and we got shout out to S Panthers. S Panthers 1911 said, "I'll be getting your book," and I got several people in the comments that said they're going to be buying the book. So I already knew that. Anyways, we spoke about that. I was like, this audience is very supportive, especially with someone with the impact that you've made to the globe, not just to the culture, but to the globe. So I knew that the tribe would be supporting for sure. But
if they want autographed books, they can get them directly from me. They can email me or text me and get autographed copies if that's what they want. Also, I have ebooks, and there's books selling on Amazon. 3 of my books are on Amazon. I've written 4 books on Matrix and Terminator. You can get all 4 of them, get whatever you want, but you're gonna learn some knowledge. You're gonna get something. You're gonna know something that you never known before ever. And do not give credit to people who do not have any source work.
Yes.
Ask them, where's your source work?
Facts. Yeah. Yeah, that's the truth. And shout out to the tribe, man, because I want y'all to keep the comments coming. It's hard for me to keep up with all of them because we got a lot. So please keep them coming. I'm gonna do my best to move through them. But I know we had a certain amount of time that we had. So and I shared this with you before we came on. So how much can we go a little bit longer? Do you want to jump into Q&A now?
I would. Yeah, whatever you want to do. If they're waiting to ask me questions, I'd love to give them some answers.
Okay. Perfect. So if you don't mind, can I ask a few more before we go to the tribe? Because there's a few more that I want.
Of course. Okay, yeah, of course. This is your interview. My pleasure.
I want to respect the time. Look, 'cause I want you back. So I want to make sure I respect the time so we can get you back here in the Ashe tribe. So I'm gonna definitely.
No, I just want you to have a great interview. And when I do interviews, I want to do my best. And people have had some sensational interviews with me. So I want you to have a best. I want you to feel good about your interview so you can show the whole world.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I appreciate it, and I feel phenomenal about it, man. And we're gonna definitely show the world. So I appreciate you, and I'm grateful. So, with that, just the ability to be a person who's a seer, an oracle, someone who's a visionary that can see 100 years into the future. With us being where we are now, and we're seeing that the physical 3D dimensional realm or world has allegedly caught up to your vision that's 40 plus years ago, what would you say you see in the immediate future from where we are now and how things evolve in regards to the technology, but also in regards of the state of the world right now as it stands?
I want people to read the book because you were reading the Matrix 4 book. The answer is in here. This is the continuation of the Matrix, not John Wick, not Tiffany with a husband, Humpty Dumpty Tiffany with a husband and 2 kids. Trinity doesn't look anything like Tiffany. John Wick doesn't look anything like Neo. Look at Neo. Look at the Terminator and stuff. Look at Morpheus. He's not a naked man with the Joker's old suit on. Niobe is not somebody with some old dreads on her hair, old general with dreads. John Wick looked nothing like Neo. Come on, people, look. Characters do not change. Spider-Man, Batman, Iron Man, Superman, no matter what actors play them, they never change. Yeah. What happened was they use the actors and actresses to fool you people.
Yeah.
Because you guys look at the character, they couldn't use Neo, they couldn't use Niobe, they couldn't use Trinity. So they created their own Humpty Dumpty characters that don't look anything like the Matrix. And all the Matrix fans rejected that movie and lost money for the investors. It was a flop. The Matrix regurgitation, resuscitation, resurrection movie was garbage. This is the real Matrix right here, folks. If it wasn't, you would already know about it. I'd be on television. They'd be talking about me if I didn't have the real thing. Come on.
That part. Yeah, that's real. Yeah, well, listen, shout out. I got to bring this one up. Shout out to Harmony0913. She said, I knew it. She was going to be the special guest because I started plugging it last week, but I didn't want to share exactly who was coming and when. So I was like, I left some little Hansel and Gretel breadcrumbs, but you picked it. And look, I pettily didn't share your comment when you picked up. Like, no, she didn't. But look, she's a seer in her own way because she definitely called it too. Her and I think like 2 or 3 other tribe members, predicted who it was. So, but grateful that, you were here for that call and that you're here back. But yeah, you were spot on. So you definitely an oracle in your own right, eHarmony. So I appreciate you. But yeah, so this is phenomenal, man. So let me ask you, when it comes to Neo, right? And Neo being the one, and if you reverse spell or reverse engineer the word one, you get Neo, vice versa.
It's an anagram. The devil always used anagram. To live, L-I-V-E, is nothing but E-V-I-L, backwards evil. Facts. In other words, evil doesn't even exist.
Facts.
It's just it's going backwards. If you're going forward and living your life and you turn around and go backwards in life, that's what evil really is.
Yeah.
Going backwards into the past instead of going forward, moving to forward and trying to live and go and move into the future.
Yeah.
Anagrams.
Yeah. And I'm gonna do, like, if it's okay, like maybe 3 more questions, and I'm gonna turn it over to the tribe so we can make sure that we get enough questions asked from them as well. But one of the questions that I wanted to know, and I feel like right now is a very, very relevant and pertinent time for this question, and especially for you to be able to give us an answer for this question. But when it comes to the vision that you saw about the return of the one, and you share with me, and I hope you don't mind me sharing off air, about how this was based upon the Bible being the framework. So when you wrote about
It
the
wasn't based
one,
on the Bible, but what it was the Bible spoke
inspired.
about a second coming.
Right.
But I wrote the story. It's not in the Bible, this story. The
No.
first coming of the Christ. Wait a minute. No, let me explain to people.
Mhm.
The first coming in the Bible of the Christ is by those authors. The second coming is in these books, in the movies. And it's done in science fiction form because it's preparing you. God wanted you to be prepared for the future. So what I wrote was prophecy and science fiction form, inspired by God, inspired by the scriptures. Because a kid, I was always into God and Jesus and reading the Bible. So you need to know that's how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Yeah. Well, and that's where I was going to. So because what I wanted to know is right now at this particular time and place in humanity, in the world, you wrote about the second coming, and you wrote it as the second coming being Neo, which is the one. I would say, and I can't speak for everybody, but I hope for the most part, I'm respectfully speaking for a vast majority of the people on this call. I would say that a lot of us feel like we have the energy or we have the ability of being the one. So if that's the case, and you feel like we are the one, because we are the one that we can become the one. And mind you, the way I see it is the all is the one. So if the all is the one and we're one and a part of the all, but yet we still feel like we're the one, where does that give us, those who believe in being a child of the creator and doing the work of the creator, which you so eloquently did by giving us this beautiful baby of a thing that we call the Matrix? Where would you say that fits into now for those who feel as if they're connected to being attached to or being a part of the energy of the one?
Being, we all can be the one. We all can make changes here on the earth. A lot of people have done that. That's what being the one is all about. Is making changes, creating, inventing, healing, helping, so everyone can elevate here. That's what being the one is all about. That we have some work to do. We all was chosen to do some type of work. We can all make changes. We can all help and heal. We can just do a lot of things to elevate other people. We came here to do some work. So there's nothing stopping you from being the one. Nothing but you.
I love
No
that.
one else can stop you.
I love it.
It's true.
Yeah, no, I
No one else
know.
can stop you from being the one.
Listen, you taught me a lot in the little bit of time that I've known you. I'll tell you that, especially on the very first call. But even, from every text and, consequent call that came after the fact, I feel like I learned a lot on top of this interview. And I'm still in awe. I don't know that I'll ever get over this, because I'm grateful for all of the guests that's been on here before, but we've had some guests that I've admired from afar for years. And to say the least of, like, you being someone who I've admired your work from 1999 up until now, and to be here talking to you and to be able to share, your wisdom, your understanding, overstanding, understanding, understanding with the world, and with the tribe, it's amazing. And I could never not do another podcast again. And I feel like, this one right here, mama, I made it. That's how I feel. But with that, I'll leave this for my last question. When it comes to the choice of the red pill and the blue pill, what was the significance from you being the true author and the true, creator of this story? What was the
Well,
significance?
there's no other significant from anybody else because they got it out of my book. The red and blue pill is in the book. I mean,
Right,
when I talk to people, it's almost like I'm talking to somebody from outer space or somewhere.
right.
No,
Yeah,
I don't need to prove anything. You're right. Let the jealous people think what they want. But sometimes you have to really
pop
let
out and show.
people,
Let
yeah,
them
you
know.
got to let people know it's
Don't play with me.
insulting to
Yeah,
insult somebody who's written a book and you never read the book.
yep.
but you saw the movie and not know that the book came first and the movie came last. In fact, everything in the movie came from the book, because the movie is just a film, but the book is the words, the written words that will never be erased, never go away from the earth.
Facts. Yeah.
As long as there are books to read.
Yeah.
But the movie, no, you're not the creator, because it's a derivative. It's derived from a source. Like people would always ask me, well, about the book. And I said, what book did you read? What book did you study? I said, I wrote the book. The book didn't write me. I came before the book. The book didn't come before me. I taught the book. The book didn't teach me. Before there was any trees, we were orally speaking and writing on the walls of the caves and on stones and everywhere. So papers and books don't teach us. We are the ones that are teaching all those who teach you. We are the source that comes before. Remember that. So when the teacher hands you a book, someone wrote that book way before this book, you started to read this book. And they had that knowledge. And knowledge is inspirational. We can look and gain knowledge by observing many things around us, our surroundings, and write down what we observe. It's all about being alert and being awake. There's some people that don't even pay attention to their surroundings, don't pay attention to their loved ones, don't pay attention to their lives, don't pay attention to anything. What can I tell you? It's true.
Yeah.
And there's people who observe and they learn and they teach.
Yeah, no, that's fact. Facts.
Thank you.
No, you're more than welcome. So listen, I'm going to open it up for the trial.
People try to give the movie. Yeah, I don't give people all these credit. These people don't write anything. They either buy it or they steal it. That's nothing else going on for them. Did you know that?
Yeah, of course.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah. I'm serious too. Yeah,
they are not creators. If they could listen, if they could create, they wouldn't be buying it or stealing it.
Listen,
I take sense.
I take pride in humility. I really do, and I take pride in being humble.
Well, wait a minute. But why is it that other people gets credit, but melanated people don't want to? Nobody want to give the melanated people any credit. Well, that's crazy. When you go back and you look at the past, some of the greatest inventors in the world were melanated people. Some of the stuff that you have right now that they don't even talk about, they won't even put it in a book, was created by melanated people. You wouldn't even have a lot of this stuff here on this earth. No, traffic lights and vacuum cleaners, and I could go on. The list is long and distinguished.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
I
agree.
What's wrong with people?
I agree. Well,
give these melanated people some credit.
Well, that's the thing. They're living through the eyes and the lens of the Matrix. They're living through the eyes and the lens of Agent Smith. They have been conditioned and they are following suit of living their life in the experience of the Matrix. And that's what it is. So that's why I like, yo, this is going to be a historical interview, because we always go back and refer to that, but most people don't know we're referring to the divine feminine, the ultimate mother of them all. We're talking about the mother of mothers. We're talking about the mother of the melanated woman, and we can take this.
But the melanated woman doesn't have all the babies in the world. We have to give credit to every woman upon the earth that has a matrix womb. Because I told people, I'm not Mother Nature. I didn't have all the babies in the world. Every woman needs to be elevated, appreciated, respected as queens of her matrix womb.
Yes, and
because
I agree.
Every woman has a baby, and there will be no man upon this earth, no matter what Dr. Frankenstein, how many lies he tells. is never going to ever have a baby and no breast milk and no umbilical cord to feed. Not going to happen. Get
No,
over it. Because
I agree.
the
I
man has
was just,
told you a lie to castrate yourself so you can stop birthing. All of
I
this
agree.
was created for castration so you can stop birthing the world. God created you to birth the world. He did not create you to castrate yourself.
Facts. Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, I definitely hold reverence to all women, but I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I don't have a little bit more reverence for melanated women. So I got to keep it a buck. But I say all that to say when
But
it comes back,
all women needs to be respected. Every
and I
woman
do.
upon the earth. Because look, if
But
the
that's what I
woman
said.
didn't
I
have the
said I
baby,
respect
the earth
all.
would not. Yeah, the earth would not be populated. And we
Yeah,
need the males. We need the males to join so we
yeah,
can
no.
all become one.
I respect all. Trust me, believe. I respect all. But I was saying, I'm still. But I got to keep it. I got to speak my truth. I'm still going to give melanated women a little bit more reverence than every other one. And that's no disrespect, no other woman, because all of y'all get reverence. But I got to keep it. But I say all that to say, when we're talking about like people that steal and take stuff, I've seen that even in the podcast space. Like this is a channel that's growing, but we're a small channel, you know. But I also know and I pay attention. I'm a student. I like to look and I like to study. I like to learn. So it's like I pay attention to what's going on, and I know that I see for a fact, just like they stole from you, I see other content creators stealing stuff from here, but they don't have the juice. They don't have the same element of Ashe. You don't have the spiritual DNA or fingerprint to create the
No,
way
no,
that.
I'm gonna tell you something real deep.
Mhm.
Can a dog create? Can a beast create? Every beast upon this earth, and you know plenty of them: snakes, dogs, rats, cats. I can go the list is long and distinguished of animals and beasts on this earth. Not giraffes. None of them can. Lions. None of them can create. A beast cannot create. It can eat. It can fornicate. It can be entertained, and it can start wars and killing and whatever else it wants to do, but it cannot create. Only the children of God is going to be able to continue with creativity. A beast cannot create. Keep that in mind, folks, because
Mm,
I just told you something really deep. There will be
mm,
no creativity coming from a beast.
mm.
And you go back in Genesis, and it's an anagram for his gene.
Uh-oh. I don't know what happened, family. Hopefully she come back because I definitely want to get into the Q&A aspects. I see some comments in the comments that I'm not sure who y'all talking to, but Blackstone 9, you can get up out of here with the fuck shit because we don't do that around these parts. And I think I saw another one. Whoever y'all are, bounce y'all right up out of here. But family, I appreciate all the love and support from everybody else who's here. Hold on one second. Okay, all right, we hear you now. I think we lost you for a minute.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure they turned that off. They didn't want people to know what I was speaking about the beast.
Well, listen, go back to it because I had to address a few beasts in the comments while you were doing that. So yeah, please go back to where you
All
left
I'm
off.
saying is there's no black and white fighting. I need to throw that out. There's no such thing as no African. There's no continent called no African. No Africans. There's no Afro Americans, no niggers, Negro, colored people, minorities, blacks, or whatever the hell derogatory terms. They do not exist. Throw all that away. It's garbage. Doesn't exist. Created by the beast. Confusion.
Ashe.
It's God's children versus man's children, the beast.
Mm,
And no black and white skin fighting. There are no black and white people fighting. There's none of that. It's
mm,
just God's children fighting the beast. Go into
mm,
the Bible, Genesis, which is genes, and it's spelled out. There's only two lineages that are fighting. The beast has the mark of the beast of his father. When you look at the devil, he's nothing but a goat and half man. That's all he is.
Ashe.
I'm
Listen.
sorry, but the beast can't create.
Yeah.
He can
Listen.
eat, he can kill, he can destroy, he can lie, he can do a lot of things, but he has no creativity.
Mm.
The
Yeah, that's
creativity comes from God's children.
facts. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I appreciate you answering all of my questions, Tribe. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this thing on over to the audience for the Q&A aspects of the channel. Shout out to the super chats. Shout out to I am Clarity 11 for the super sticker, and then shout out also to C Bracken 9918 for the super chat. My heart is so full right now. This is helping me heal from having my work my family has stolen. Yeah, you're not alone, C Brackens, and clearly you heard Sophia's story about how it happened to her and how she's still doing what she does and how she still overcame all the foolishness, still moving to pour into and enlighten the world. So with that, don't let that stop you. You can do the same thing, family. So now to the questions. Shout out to I am Dr. Avery. Dr. Avery, I am Dr. Avery says, greetings, Queen. Did you ever check out Asar and Offset?
I know what you're talking about, but check them out in what way? Explain.
Yeah. Can you please further elaborate on that? I am Dr. Avery. Like, is it a book or is it like something that in particular, so that way we can get hopefully we can get the question answered for you. If you can, throw another comment in there, and I'll make sure I look for it to see if we can get you the question answered. So next would be shout out to I am having a human experience. What's the correlation between Sophia and Sybil's? That's a good question.
Excuse me.
No problem. That's a great question. And because she's got to pause for second family, because I know she told me earlier allergies was acting up. So I'll go ahead and keep it pushing while we wait for her to come back.
When I'm sneezing and coughing, I don't want people to know, to see all of that.
Oh, it's okay.
But I have allergies, and I was just coughing.
Yeah.
Who is Sybil? You're talking about Sybil with the 17 personalities? Well, Sophia is Greek for wisdom in the Bible. I know who Sophia is, and I'm pretty sure that's who I was named after. Sophia, Greek wisdom, God's own wisdom. But who is Sybil? The only Sybil I know about is the one with the 17 personalities.
At having human experience, if you could elaborate on your question as well, I'll do my best to get back to bring the rest of it up so we can get an answer for you, family. So I'll keep it pushing and move on. They had another question. So at having a human experience had another question. They said, what is Sophia's opinion on Plantair and Elon Musk having control over Social Security in their hands and healthcare? What do you think about that?
All I can see is that all such people want to do is depopulate. Bill Gates and all of them. They can control the world with 500,000 people, but they can't control the world with 8 billion people. So everything that they do is about money and control. That's all. That's the bottom line. Money. If it ain't making no money, there's no interest.
Yeah.
If it's not going to control something to make money, there's no interest. That's just common sense.
Yeah.
That's just common sense. You can answer that because wars are about money. Raising up the gas and raising up the food. It's all about making money.
Yeah.
If you're not going to make any money, none of this would be happening. They wouldn't even waste their time a day if money wasn't being generated right now. And who's making the money? The billionaires and the multimillionaires and the trillionaires. They all are making money. And who's they making money off of? You. Why oh you? You already know the answer. They're not affected, but you are affected by what they're doing. And they're doing it so they can make money.
Yeah.
So all you got to figure out, if you see anything happening here, what is the motive? Is to generate cash flow and to control so we can continue, or to depopulate. There's nothing else going on here in hell. There is nothing else going on here in hell that you can't answer. Because if they don't make any money, it goes away.
Yeah. The control goes away.
Everything goes away. It's all about money. It's all about money and control.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Janet Jackson explained it to you when she did the song Control. Go back and play that song and listen to the lyrics. You'll get it.
And listen to the lyrics of Mike's song too, because Mike definitely was doing a lot more than just entertaining people. He was sharing a whole lot of wisdom, metaphysics, deep wisdom, you know, and I think we took it as just entertainment, but Mike was dropping some jewels, a lot of jewels, as a matter of fact. And so I'm gonna keep it pushing, family, until Sophia comes back. Because like I said, she told me before we came on air that she was dealing with the allergies, and I, as a person who deals with them, I know how that could be. So,
Yeah, they
but
just
okay,
started. They just started up because we lasted pretty good with before any little sneezes start coming.
yeah. Listen, I deal
But
with it, so
I
I know.
love this. I love when they ask me questions. I love that. I love them stepping up to the plate and stepping up. And you can guys ask me anything you want. Don't feel shy. Don't feel
Well, listen,
I can handle it. Just be truthful and be real. Just step up to the plate. Ask me anything you want. I love it.
and that's what you got, man. That's why I was telling you, like, it's a real crowd now, and they tapped in. Like, we ain't coming with no softballs or no fluff. We're gonna keep it a buck, man, because that's the tribe. So, and I told them, like, yo, she the real deal, man. She is the real deal, Holyfield, so for real.
You don't
So,
have to hold back. Just ask me
okay,
what you need to know.
got you.
Ask
So I
like
got
you have
another.
me. You're a living person right in front of you.
I say, okay. So I am Dr. Avery had another one. I hope I'm saying this right. Ralu Strong, was he one of your teachers?
I don't even have any teachers.
Okay,
I never
I'm not.
had any teachers.
I'm not sure
I
who that
never
was.
had any teachers, period, ever. I'm
Mm,
the oracle.
mm,
Oracles teach, but
mm,
they get their knowledge or inspiration from God. That's where I get
mm,
mine from. So I
mm,
wasn't taught by man, so I can't say any man upon the earth was my teacher.
mm. I sure. Okay.
I wonder where you get that from. I don't even know who Rollo Stone is.
I wasn't sure either. But I
Yeah,
wanted
and
to
I
pose it.
was. Whoever said that seemed like I was being trained unknowingly as a child, spirit guiding me. The angels, yes, I was taught as a child, being guided. That is 100%. Whoever said that, you are on point. Where they
Mm,
just said, seems like she was being trained unknowingly as a child, spirits guided her. Yeah, it was the angels. Now that is a fact.
mm. I say.
I was that.
Okay. So at Earn a Bud says, what is your opinion on these data centers? And I'm gonna ad lib because I feel like I know that they were going here with us. The data centers and their obnoxious amount of water and energy and power that they're consuming to run these data centers. That's a great question.
Well, listen, I like I told you guys, it's all about control. What is a data center doing but controlling? And the water they use, and stuff upon the earth. But look, this is why it rained, and they didn't want you to catch any rainwater. You're never going to be without water. You never. So don't let people lie to you and scare you up and say we're running out of water, we're running out of food, we're running out of land, we're running out of air. Everything is being remade and replenished as we live and go. People will leave this earth before any of that ever will leave this earth. Go back in the
Mm,
past and see we never ran out of land, we never ran out of water, we never ran out of food, we never ran out of fire, air, whatever. We never ran out of anything except for people. The only
mm,
thing going on here, and you guys need to know this is a fact. The moment someone dies, someone is being born. The moment someone is being born, someone is dying. All that's
mm,
ever happened here is people coming and leaving, coming and leaving. That's all going to happen to you here.
mm,
Go back and look in the past. Go back and look at the history books. And all you're going to see for a fact is somebody came here and what they used to wear, where they used to live, what they used to eat, what they used to do, what they used to write, the history, the bio of them. But
mm,
coming and going, that's it. The earth
mm,
has never been destroyed. It will never be destroyed. You need to listen.
mm.
This
Yeah.
earth has never been destroyed. It never will be destroyed. The only thing that's going to be destroyed is you coming and going. And you're going to only be here a short time, 120 years. You can train your body, fix your body, keep your body healthy, and live 120 years and do your work. But this
Mm,
is a fact. And nothing else going on here but you coming and leaving.
mm,
This earth has never been upset by people.
mm.
And it's huge.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
even know why the government is making you pay for all this land and stuff.
Well, we know why. Look, you said it. It's
Because
control.
there are
It's all
people,
about
yeah, it
control.
is control, but I'm just
Yeah.
laughing because people are buying it. That's what I'm laughing about. They're buying into the bullshit. That's all I'm laughing about.
Facts.
Because God gave you this land, He gave you this air, He gave you this water, He gave you this fire, and you don't need man's bullshit at all. If He was dead tomorrow, you still would be eating and drinking and having a wonderful time while you're here.
Facts. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
man has no control over you. You have full control over yourself. You just gotta be constantly aware of who you are and what you play here, what part you play. You came to do some work. Find out what your work is and do it, and not be caught up in the bullshit here.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of bullshit going on here to take you someplace, but not
Wow.
for you to be concentrating on your work, because you got some fabulous work that you came to do. Concentrate on that.
Yeah.
It's funny to me. I'm sorry, but you can go back and look at history. You can see that this earth has never been destroyed.
Right. Right.
It has
Yeah.
never been destroyed. And look, the moment, like I told you, the moment some land falls into the ocean, some land pops up in the ocean. Everything is balanced out. Everything is balanced. The moment something leaves, something comes. The same
Facts.
with people. Just with
Yeah.
people, it's never gonna change.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't
No.
listen. When I hear wars and rumors of wars and people killing each other and they scaring people, and I don't even pay any attention to that. I just go and look at the past and see it's a joke. It's a joke. I mean, how can people get caught up in the fantasies when you can look at the past and see what has happened in the past will happen again and again? And people putting fear in you so you won't operate, and people lying to you so you won't create, and people lying to you so you'll be, immobilized and you'll be frozen. It's just funny. But look, all this stuff in the news, if they wasn't making any money tomorrow, it'll go away. All they plan to do is make a lot of money off of you guys and then go back to the norm, and then they'll come up with some more drama. Now they're trying to come up with another virus, the hunter virus, but it's the same thing. Ebola, E. coli, all one in the same. They just got different names. Listen,
Product of the
folks,
same beast.
same game, but different strokes for different folks, but the same game with different names.
Hey, and what did Tupac and Digital Underground say? All around the world, same song. It's all the same song. All
Well,
the
it is.
same.
It's funny to me. I'm sorry for laughing, but you guys would be laughing too if you saw how much lies that man tells. Man is nothing but a liar,
Oh
and
yeah.
there's no truth in him.
Yeah. No, that's facts.
And
Okay.
we
Well,
don't need. We got everything at our disposal to heal, to build, to create, to love, to have the most wonderful life upon this earth. Why get caught up in man's bullshit? There are people on this earth that has never seen America. There's people on this earth that no man has ever touched on their land or seen them.
yeah, that's
It's
facts.
true. This is really true.
Yeah, no, I know.
There's
That's facts.
the world is so vast. Do not believe that lie. The world is vast. It's never going to run out of anything. It's never going to run out of gold. The moment gold is recycled, everything is recycled to come back again and again, except for you. You're going to come and you're going to leave. You're going to do whatever you came or finish, or if you mess up your body, you're going to have to do it the hard way. But all you're going to do is come and go. That's it.
I say. Well, let me ask you this, because I got a few more questions, actually several, a lot more. I don't know how long you're going to let me go, but look, they're going to keep them coming as long as you keep, if you keep
I
on
don't
asking.
mind. I mean, I'm trying to help them here. I'm trying to
Okay, well,
unplug them out of the matrix. I'm trying to unplug them.
Let's do it. So Tears of the Sun 218 says, can you please ask her about the ice wall? So what are your thoughts about the ice wall and what's behind
What
the
ice wall are you talking about? The Antarctic?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Sophia. I'm pretty sure that's the one they're talking about. You see, I had to catch myself real quick.
Right now, we have a polar shift going on. I'm talking about it in the Matrix. You guys need to read these books. Why am I answering the questions when the answer is in the book? I'm sorry, but that's funny. The Antarctic, what about it? It's been there for many years. Yeah, there's a lot of mystery and a lot of things hiding there. They're not going to tell you. All you need to do is research and find out for yourself. Just like I told you about this book, there's books on it. All you need to do is read about it, because I'm not going to spend my time worried about the Antarctic ice wall. It's going to be there. You're letting people distract you when you can be living. Whatever is there, it got nothing to do with us. Well, it is not going to change your world. It's not going to put any money in your pocket. Unless you're
Right.
writing a paper on it, unless you are creating something about it that's going to help heal or discover something, it's a waste of time.
Okay.
It's a time to get caught up in stuff that's not going to do you any good. The ice wall, what good
Gotcha.
is it going to do you? You want to invent something that's going to help heal or change something with the polarity or the weather or something like that, then I would tell you go for it.
Okay. C Brackens 9918 says, we want to learn. I like that question. We want to learn how to bend the spoon.
You have bent the spoon, because you're not bending the spoon, you're bending the energy. This is nothing but energy right here. That's all it is, the energy. So you're not bending this, you're bending the energy. You got to see what's really there. Everything on this earth, everything that matters is made of energy. So all Neo was saying was that the boy is bending the spoon. It's not bending the spoon, it's bending the energy. We bend energy here all the time. It's called the atomic bomb. It's called the nuclear bomb. That's bending energy right there. Did you know that?
If you didn't, you're going to learn today. You're going to learn today, buddy. Yes, sir. Okay. So I got some other questions that were emailed in and texted in. So shout out to my brother, Emperor of Truth 777. I got you, family. I got your question for sure. Emperor of Truth wants to know, is humanity on the verge of a collective spiritual awakening and unplugging from the system, or are we sinking deeper into a technological trap that threatens to permanently sever our connection to divine source? That's a good question.
Listen, you're in America, and whatever is going on in America is not affecting the Asians, the Chinese, the Koreans. It's not affecting the Arabs. It's not affecting the Russians. It's not affecting anybody. They think the Americans are the most dumbest people upon the earth. And I don't know. The Americans are all self-absorbed about stuff that really is not benefiting them. You know, you want to know what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you, like that man that you see in the old black and white reel. He's holding a cardboard. And some of you have seen this. And he said the world is coming to an end. This is like maybe in the 20s or 30s. This white guy is holding this cardboard, and on it, it says the world is coming. Yeah, his world came to an end in the 30s. But we're in 2026. Have your world come to an end yet? Because what I'm saying is, if you want your world to come to an end, you're the guy that's holding that little cardboard. It's not going to happen for everybody else. Yeah. Whatever's going on in your world, you're going to be affected by that. Whatever you're creating, whatever you're trying to do, whatever you want, that's on you. That's you holding that little cardboard, but it's not everybody else.
That's facts.
Because everybody else is not believing in what you just said. What if the world comes to an end? What if this and that? Nobody is concerned about that, because it never has and it never will. The only world that's coming to an end is your world in the little cardboard. Your world. That's it.
I love that.
Well, it's true.
No,
look,
I know.
We're in 2026, and look, that guy was in 1920s or 30s. Yeah. His world came to an end, but look at our world. It's still going on.
Yeah. And you know, I love that you said earlier, because I've said this several times, and I mean several, but I love that you said earlier, this world is not coming to an end. It'll never be destroyed. They could not and cannot and never will destroy this planet, no matter what the F they try. It ain't happening, because
and
you
they don't want
have
to.
Power.
Listen, right. They don't want to, because they won't be able to make any money. They will not be able to control and make any money. The two things that an animal does and what he wants, entertainment and control. Now listen to me. If it's not going to make any money, it's not worth his time. Look, I told people one time, if you want to kill a certain people on this earth, all you have to do is take the money and they'll jump out of the windows. Look at 1929. The past always come back again and again. You want to kill certain people, take their money. You don't have to kill them with a gun. You don't have to shoot them, hurt them, harm them. Just take their money and they'll kill themselves. So, hey, let me tell you, money make the world go around, and if some people can't live with that money, because money is control. Without no money, no control. No control, no money. Look at you. What are you controlling? About as much as money as you have. That's about all you're controlling. The more money you have, the more you can control. Okay?
All
it's
right.
all about money and control. No money, no control. No control, no money.
Hey.
One and the same.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, we got some more great questions.
That's so common sense.
Well, look, common sense ain't so common anymore. I was just talking to some young people.
But you gotta think about what's going on here. In the book, I'm talking about how people are, look, they worship the almighty dollar. First thing in the book. And here's another one of my books with Neo on the cover. Neo. And this girl, Hallie Zulu, is not me. That's a girl that wrote this book with me, that I told her the story, and she wrote the book. And she is a so-called from Zambia.
Okay.
So I want people to know that. I have written 4 books on Matrix and Terminator, the Matrix trivia book, but you guys wake up and stop being confused. Wake up and stop being programmed. Wake up and stop letting people lead you somewhere. You know, open up, get alert, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of what's going on here.
Yeah, no, that's real. I got a couple more great questions. Shamara Latrice says, does she have an opinion on Atlas 31 or 3I, whatever it was called, and it brings semblance to the last human city in the Matrix called Zion? That's a great question. What's your thoughts on that, Sophia?
Atlas 3-1. Atlas 3-1. Is that about control?
Look, you tell us. You the oracle.
No, I'm just asking this question back to that person.
I got you.
See why they want an opinion or an answer on this. Because if this is just movie and entertainment, read the books. Which is it? Movies or entertainment? Ask them that question. Which is it? Is this movie or entertainment? Is this about the movie or
Shamara,
is this entertainment?
Shamara, if you could bring the answer to that question, I'll definitely pull you back up. So I appreciate you for the first question. If you can bring an answer to that question, I'll bring it back up. So we got a couple more. Well, we got a lot more. So I'm gonna keep going until you tell me to stop. So Reiki, no, I'm gonna go. T Wriggles, great question, T Wriggles. How often, or how much do you dream?
Everyone dreams every night, whether they remember it or not. The point is this: most people don't remember their dreams, and remember some of their dreams, and you want to remember so you can write it down, because even though you might remember when you wake up some of it, but when you totally waken in the morning, you might forget all of it. But I do dream, and I do have vivid dreams, and I do remember what I see in my dreams.
Yeah, I know I'm one of those that you spoke about. Like I have lucid dreams, I have vivid dreams, and sometimes I remember them, sometimes I don't. The times that I do my best to take notes of them so I can look them up or research them or just kind of meditate on them and see what information was being transmitted. But I am one of them ones that I know I do have dreams that I don't remember as well. So I definitely feel like that was a great question, T. Wriggles. Don Mackins, another great question. So should we or should we not just do away with money?
They want to do away with money so they can control you. I'm talking about physical money, and do not let them do that. Digital money can be wiped out of your account, and what are you going to do? Physical money you can hide, you can keep, you can, process.
Stash, yeah.
But digital money, you're in trouble. I even
Yeah.
said that in the Matrix, and you need to read about it in the books.
Mm.
Now, why do I need to answer the questions when you can read?
Mm. I think because a lot of people probably didn't know that the answers were in the books or how to get to the
Well,
books.
this
So
is wild because when whites come out with books, they go get the book.
yeah,
They go see the movie, they go get the book, they read the book, they want to know everything. But with me, they just talk about the movies and act like no book even exists. This is crazy. It doesn't make any sense to me.
but I think it's programming. I think it's programming, and conditioning. And it's something that this channel and there's a lot of other positive and powerful platforms out there that are doing a lot to, I feel like, combat that as well. Normally they know the tribe will tell you every time we talk about certain things, I got the book to back it up because I'm, like I
Well,
said, I'm a big nerd.
yeah,
So I
well,
like to read.
if they do away with money, they're going to be able to control you.
Mm,
You're going to be doing a lot of bad stuff that you don't want to do just so you can have some money in your account. And they
gotcha.
can wipe it out anytime they get ready because it's digital. It's nothing physical. And they
Yeah.
can even lie and say you didn't even have that amount in your account.
Yeah,
You
like
know
they
what I'm
lied
talking? What
to
you're
the
going to
day
be
one.
doing? Snapshotting everything that comes and goes. Because
Right.
that's what's going to happen because you're going to need evidence and proof. Don't let them put you, but it's so far away, you won't even be affected by that. By the time this happened, digital money, they love physical money so bad. I can't believe they got rid of the pennies. They only got rid of the pennies because they don't like Lincoln, and it keeps proving to everyone that Lincoln is black, and they hate that. They want
Whoa.
people to stick to the narratives and the lies. And well, with Lincoln being on that black copper penny, it sure makes them a big liar. So
Hey,
they need to get rid of the pennies to get rid of their lies.
look, then they're trying to get rid of books and all kind of stuff too. So yeah, you on to something with
Well,
that one.
if you get rid of the book and you get rid of the money, you can tell people any lie you want to tell them.
Yeah. Look. 300 years from now, Sophia Stewart might have been a European woman, far as they know. So is Arisha Bemi. Far, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like that's.
they are gonna whitewash me. Come on, they did Cleopatra,
Oh yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on, they did everybody. Made them
Nemo
white.
Barker,
Come on.
Beethoven. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they did a lot of people. Yeah, there was another guy, the one who wrote. I can't think of his name now, but he wrote a lot of books, and people thought he was white, but he wasn't.
Like I
Yeah,
said, the patent office. That's about the only thing. I am Dr. Avery. Another good question says, how do we keep in touch with you?
easy.
Audience.
You will get my email address and a phone number to text me, and you will get my books, and you will get autographed books, and you will get to know me, and I can help you with your personal problems. I mentor students, and I have a lot of successful students because I mentor them. And hey, if you want to be mentored and you need help and you need to actualize yourself or realize yourself or see who you are, or you're having some kind of medical problems or issues, I can help with the holistic healing because I'm a shaman and a healer, an oracle, a creator,
Hmm.
owner.
Ashe. Ashe. So I got the email address, family. I'll be sharing the information for Sophia as well. Matter of fact, let me share these right now. Let me share this one,
Yeah,
which
post it and post my books, pictures of the books, and those
mm-hmm,
people who are in those foreign countries, just get it from Amazon if that's what you want to do. For
mm-hmm.
those who want privacy or whatever, but if you want to get to talk to me one on one, then get it directly from me. Or if you want to just go the other route, it's all about you guys. I have Cash App, I have PayPal,
Yep.
and
I'm
so
posting
and
them right now.
some people mail cashier's checks to me and everything and money orders and get whatever they need or want. So it's all left up to you guys. Whatever you want, I'm down with you.
Ashe. Yep. And I'm sharing all your information. I'll be definitely putting it in the show description, family. So for those who are new to the channel, every time I upload the episodes and the live streams, I will add the show descriptions and all the contact information for Sophia as well.
People don't realize when they are bringing and being antagonized, we elevate with positive energy, but we actually slide backwards and we degrade when we start going the opposite direction. Going in the direction of evil, it just sabotages our positive energy, it sabotages our money source, As long as we're positive and we're not lying, killing, and stealing and doing anything negative, we elevate and we attract money and all kinds of positive sources. The moment you start lying, killing, stealing, and going backwards and being degrading and harming others and being loud and obnoxious and stuff, you are just destroying your energy. You're not going to attract anything but more of this, more evil.
Exactly.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're never gonna go anyplace. You're never gonna do anything.
That's right.
So don't sabotage yourself out there. Elevate. The more truthful, the more good, the more healing and helping, the more your energy rises to the level that's astronomical, and you can have and do anything. Raise your vibrations, raise your energy, and elevate and become wealthy and successful and healing and helpful. But don't go the other way,
I know
because
that's
that's nothing but death. And I'm gonna say, I'll be back.
I
Like
say.
the Terminator.
Yes, sir. Okay, can I do one or two more questions before you get out of here?
Yes, you can.
I'll make it quick. So real quick, one more after this one. That's it. They asked this one. Several people, I think, asked this one. So, what are your thoughts on Terrence Howard and his theory about 1 × 1 = 2? No, I don't think that's what it was.
No,
Are you
I don't
familiar?
think that's what he said. He said
Yeah, it
something
was
else, but
something
it
else,
wasn't that.
like 17 or something.
I
like
think
that.
that Terrence Howard is somebody
Very
that's
intelligent.
phenomenal and very
Very
intelligent.
intelligent.
I actually like him. I think
I
that
do too.
somebody has imparted some knowledge to him and has elevated his consciousness. And a lot of the Hollywood people don't like that. That's why
Yeah.
you're seeing him being blackballed or not
Oh,
getting
yeah.
what he's supposed to get. Anytime somebody is not elevating, they didn't put them there. You know, and whenever they are turning negative towards someone who's positive and doing something to elevate or consciously awaken somebody, you will already know that they're getting attacked by the opposite side.
By the
So
deletes.
by the elite. I love Terrence
They ain't
Howard. I
elite.
think that he's getting he's parting with some really good knowledge. Someone has awakened him, and I like that.
I agree. We used to call them elites, but now they are the deletes, because we're gonna delete them, because ain't nothing elite about them. So we're gonna delete them.
Yeah,
So
they need to be deleted. The elite needs to be deleted.
Yeah, we're gonna call them the deletes now. So last one. New Digital Wonders wants to know what's up with the flying orbs in the night sky. Do you
I
have a
got
take?
them in here way before you guys even was talking about the orbs. This book came out in 2010, and I'm talking about. I can send you a video on it. It's all in this book. Oh my God! I can even send you the information from Homeland Security from 1955, and they're talking about the UFOs, the silver bug, and everything they're talking about is in this book. It's amazing. From the Roswell incident. And I'm talking about the orbs. Oh my God. Read.
I say. I tell you what. So with that, that's gonna be the last question. I want to give thanks again. Like I said, it's been an honor. I truly am extremely grateful for this opportunity, and I definitely look forward to being able to hopefully do it again in the future often, and as soon as our schedules will allow. But with that, family, I'll definitely share all of the links to her books, all of the links to her contact information, Cash App, PayPal, email, all that I'll share it in the comments, but I'll definitely share it in the show description.
I'll come back and talk to you guys, but I will be there for you one-on-one. Okay? Become one of my students. Get some real knowledge. You know what I'm talking about? Let me help you individually. So on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, remember that, Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, and directly from me.
And I'll be sharing all the links and all the information again, family, on the show description as well as on the episode uploads. I definitely appreciate you, T Wriggles, and all the tribe and all the family members out there. So, last thing, can you leave us with something, to take off and to take to bed with us? Anything that you have to leave us with, we'll take until the next time we meet again.
I enjoyed this so much. I felt your energy out there, and you guys' energy was super. I mean, some of the best energy I've ever felt in a long time. So we got some superstars out there. Great energy. Keep up the good work, Sophia Stewart.
I appreciate you. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that, and I'll be in touch. I look forward to setting up another one. I spoke to her about bringing her into the private community as well, and having private, teaching sessions with the tribe as well. So with that, I definitely appreciate all of the love and support, family. I appreciate y'all for checking in. All kinds of things try to come in the way to block greatness, but you're never going to stop the power of the creator. You're never going to stop the creations of the creator. And we are all children of the universal prime creator. So I give gratitude and thanks to our special guest, the Oracle, the mother of the Matrix, the author of Third Eye, Where It All Begins, as well as the Matrix and the Terminator series. And thanks to her. And I give gratitude and thanks to all of y'all, family. And I look forward to doing it again. We got a real tight weekend coming up, and I look forward to bringing all this energy and Ashe into next week. So with that, without further ado, I want to give gratitude and thanks to y'all. Family, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. I appreciate all the love, the support, the dope comments. I appreciate everybody who shared the questions through email or through text, DMs, and the social media platforms. And all the books are on Amazon, family. But also, she prefers that you order them directly from her. So like I said, I'll be sharing that. So I'm going to share this real quick. This is her PayPal, email, and the information in regards to the books. So I'm going to share that with y'all real quick so it's on the show. And like I said, it'll definitely be in the show descriptions. But yeah, no, I appreciate you, Soul Reasons. Appreciate you, Harmony. Appreciate you, I am Dr. Avery. Appreciate all the love and support, family. And I'm going to speak for Sophia. She definitely appreciates it too. And as you heard her say, and I'm greatly and humbly proud of it. She said the energy was off the, it was off the chain, and it was phenomenal, as I knew it would be, because, united we stand, divided we fall. I am because we are, and because we are, I am. So with that, family, I'll see y'all on the next episode. We are out. Peace.
Ẹni tó gbàgbé ilé ṣàpò ìyàgbọ́ tẹ́ǹtì ẹni takísà ní tàtàn ò bá padà sílé anítìjàkọ ẹja lọ pé eégún mo sí ẹni gbẹ́rẹ́ ìpàkọ́. Forsake not your ancestors and praise your